heard something the other day that really resonated with me. A healthy relationship doesn't require constant attention, but it does require intentional prioritization. On today's case, Mrs. Williams says her husband, Mr. Williams, has put her and their marriage on the bottom of his priority list. She says his lack of care and boundary crossing with other women have had her second-guessing her decision to start a family with him. She's had enough, and she's here in my courtroom today seeking a divorce. Let's hear their case.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding. Your Honor, this is the case of Williams versus Williams.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Williams. Mr. Williams. Mrs. Williams, you brought this case to court because you say your husband is a thoughtless womanizer who doesn't set boundaries. You've had enough, and you want him to sign divorce papers today.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Williams, you are here, you say, to save your marriage. You say your wife's constant criticism and controlling behavior have been stressful. Despite this, you do not want to lose your family.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. and Mrs. Williams, you actually have been together for 8.5 years, married for just over half that time. You have 2 children together, 2 little ones, 18 months and 2 years old. And Mr. Williams, you have a 10-year-old from a previous relationship, but y'all have really blended your family together.
Yes, we
Your
have.
Honor.
Okay, so we have real stakes here in the ground.
Yeah.
I want to know why we're in court today, Ms. Williams.
Judge Starr, first and foremost, I'm grateful to find my husband. However, lately, my husband has become embarrassing when we're around. We're not a priority to him. Like, we're on the back burner, and also he is
Something's
sorry,
frustrating you.
Yes, because me and my husband, we were a team, and now we're not a team anymore. I don't trust him, anything. Like, it's new. This is a new person.
Mr. Williams, you hear Mrs. Williams, she's looking for the Anthony, and I hear she calls you Bishop Williams that she fell in love with. Where is he?
He's still here, Your Honor. I love my wife. I'm here because I would do anything for our marriage, and I am praying that you can maybe give us some advice or counsel that can course correct us and put us on the path back that can possibly bring us close like we once were.
So we are going to be solution-oriented in here today, because I heard from the 2 of you. I know that you brought divorce papers, Ms. Williams. Am I right?
Yes.
Robert, let me see these divorce papers,
I have
because I want to
papers.
see.
I'm serious. I'm so serious.
I want to see how serious Ms. Williams is today before we even ask any questions. Okay, thank you, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
So according to all right, I see some state of Georgia papers that are properly completed and properly signed. So you came to court ready.
I'm ready, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna put them here and let me hear what this case is, because I'd love to know how you met and what has happened over the course of the years to get us to the point where we're in divorce court.
Like I said, I'm so happy that I met my husband. We met organically at a bar, like a movie. We both were in the entertainment, well, we still are in the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
He was producing an event. I was doing a sound check with my artist. Once I got off the stage, he approached me, asked me for my number. We've been together ever since. And now I can't get my husband to prioritize my family. I cannot get my husband to just not embarrass me. I cannot get my husband to just be the man that I fell in love with.
Mr. Williams, it sounded like flowers and butterflies and candy in the beginning.
Yes, ma'am.
Was that way for you also?
Yes, Your Honor. I love my wife. I loved her since the first day we met. I remember seeing her with these beautiful gold-tinted glasses on, and I said, that's the lady right there for me. Maybe a week after us dating, she attempted to hit me with the, I'm gonna separate us for a time because I don't want you to take me being here for granted. And I had to tell her, no, I have plans for us being together for life. And I've honored that commitment to this day.
So I'm glad to hear that the love is still there, but there's some communication issue that is a problem because according to Mrs. Williams, the priority list is all skewed up.
Your Honor, priorities are down the drain. One night, I was getting prepared for bed, but I said, all the kids are asleep. Let's have some alone time, you know? So I put on my little teddy and go into the room with him. He is on his phone. Okay, that's no problem. You look up, you see your wife in her nice little nightgown. You put down your phone, right? Not my husband. He never looked up. 15
Now, how
minutes.
in the world, Mr. Williams, do you not look up at this gorgeous lady? That doesn't even make sense. 'Cause
She is a beauty.
she's a beautiful lady.
His priorities is his phone and
So
not
what's going on with you on
sex.
social media? Which, by the way, my bias, I believe social media is the devil.
See, I agree. We use social media to market our business.
Fair enough.
I love my wife. Sexually, we just haven't been on the same page as of
Why?
late. Well, it seems as though since we've had the children, the want to connect in the bedroom just hasn't been there. I know because we had our children back to back, that left us with big spaces in between our love life in regards to how we can usually interact with one another. But because we had the children, that kind of slowed things down and turned the fire down. And sometimes it feels like it's been turned all the way off.
Are you
Yeah, but
attracted?
your wife is saying to you, she's standing up there looking sexy like a mug, and you are focused on an inanimate object. And I 100% get using digital media to market your business, but that can't be the priority in your house. And what I have found is when dealing with social media, there is nothing more effective to show the kind of man you are than to say, I can't talk to y'all right now because my beautiful wife is standing here, and that's where my attention needs to go. Good night, click, click.
One of these, bro.
Exactly.
You know what? Yes, you're right, and that's what I've done going forward. But that's something she holds over my head as if that's every day, and it's just not.
Just thought we got kicked off my Line Sisters podcast.
Excuse me?
here we go.
Explain. What do you mean?
My husband is a Trump supporter.
I'm a criminal justice major.
Okay.
So people like to talk politics with me. I never started, but I'll end it.
But if you are not trying to end it, marriage, you don't go for the kill shot. So I understand that the priorities is an issue, but this uncomfortableness, I don't understand that. You said that he makes you uncomfortable.
Okay, Your Honor. My husband is a Trump supporter. Okay, that's fine. You can have your views.
Okay.
At the end of the day, leave that conversation to whatever box that's supposed to be in.
Yes, the political box.
Exactly. Just thought we got kicked off my Line Sisters podcast.
Excuse me?
here we go.
Explain. What do you mean?
Even though I have on these colors, you know, alpha women look good in any color they put on.
Oh my God, I just realized I forgot to put my brooch on.
Okay.
Come on now, this can't be fair now. I
See?
could have pledged.
You could have, but you didn't.
What were you saying?
I was saying my soror, my line sister, somebody that I'm very close with, has a podcast. She invites us over to the podcast. We're a married couple. She wants to do, you know, conversation.
And wait, and you get to promote your business.
We get to promote our business.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
So they ask some icebreakers, ask, what's your husband's favorite color? I say black. He gets mad and says, you know my favorite color is red. And why is it red? For my guy, Trump.
Oh my God.
So in other words, you started it.
I did not start.
No, you started it.
That is not what happened. I work in government. I'm a criminal justice major.
Okay.
So people like to talk politics with me. We go onto the podcast to support her Line Sisters podcast, which I'm totally in support of. We get into it. They're asking us family questions, which is no problem. Then here comes the political, which is always, for me, it's always the hidden thing that you don't see. Somebody has political
So
questions.
what was the political question? Because she just said they asked you what your favorite color was.
I answered that question, and all I said was that it wasn't, what was the original
It wasn't
color?
black.
It wasn't black, it was red. I didn't go into the whole Trump thing.
Did you say anything about why it was red?
No, I try my hardest to
Okay,
avoid these
then
conversations.
how did the conversation go?
So it goes, it's not black, it's just red. And we keep going forward. Next thing it comes out, the girl goes to, oh, I heard you're a Trump supporter. Now, I'm on a podcast, so it is tough in that moment to go.
No, it's not. I can tell you what your answer should have been. I thought we were here to talk about my relationship and marriage.
Well, her line sisters were teasing me, y'all.
And that's the whole point. I thought we were here to talk about marriage and relationships. And because I value my marriage and relationship, soror sister, I'm going to respect your line sister and say, what color do you think my favorite color is, baby?
Black.
That's my favorite color. And that's how you pivot, okay?
We got kicked off. She don't even talk to me anymore.
See, that's how you pivot, Mr. Williams, because if you want to avoid a problem, you can avoid a problem,
I never started, but I'll end it.
okay?
That's something I'm not
But
about.
here's the thing. If you want to end it because you're in the courtroom, that makes sense. Then you go for the zinger.
Yeah.
Then you go for the kill shot.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you go for the smoking gun.
Yes, Jeanna.
But if you are not trying to end it, marriage, you don't go for the kill shot. You don't go for the smoking gun.
It's hard.
No, it's not. Depends on what your motivation is. What is your motivation? Is your motivation to win the argument or be in a relationship with this woman? What's
Be
the
married to my wife?
Then you might need to pull it back.
I
Do you
wouldn't.
know how many arguments I avoid on a daily basis with my husband or with a colleague or with a friend? Sometimes just let it go. It's not that deep. Why do you care that somebody on the podcast, be it her sorority sister or our sorority sister or not?
Because people call me really hurtful names.
Then guess what? Then I wouldn't go and be a part of anything that people are going to insult me, because you should have boundaries with your wife also. And you need to respect that, Miss Williams.
And she doesn't stick up for me in those moments. I feel as though she kind of goats me into these things and then kind of sits back and watches it happen. I don't know if the podcast was trying to go viral, but it becomes an issue. And I try to avoid these conversations, like I said, because I know it's hot button. But I just would like my wife to not lead me into the dog cage, if you would.
I think that's fair, Miss Williams.
Your Honor,
I think that's fair, Miss Williams.
Yes.
I really do.
Yes.
Because if your priority is your marriage, then don't put it in a trick bag.
I'm handling business with our artist. He's at the bar already, and a lady is feeding him chicken tenders.
Oh, no.
And I avoided. I did my Matrix thing. I dove
No,
back.
you didn't do that.
And you know exactly what your response was supposed to be?
What?
Because it would have been hers if she walked over. He's not hungry, ma'am. Thank you. If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Missed a show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content. I want to know about these boundaries, Miss Williams, because this is a problem.
Okay, so as we identify, we have plenty of businesses. So we have a music company, and we go out to the lounges, clubs, events, parties, different things like that. No problem. Even sometimes, you know, we may be out, a guy may buy me a drink, you know. Even when we're out, girls may come up to him really closely and whisper something in his ear. It's a question, of course. Where's the section? Can I sit down? You know, things like that. That's no problem. I'm handling business with our artist. Then I come to him and say, you want to get something to eat? Are you hungry? He's at the bar already, and a lady was talking to him. Okay, so I go and order the food. As I'm ordering the food, I look again. The lady is feeding him chicken tenders.
Oh, no.
I never took a bite. I just want to make sure we all clear on that. This is another interpretation.
Was this
Okay?
woman standing there with a chicken tender ready to feed you?
She did attempt to try to feed me the chicken tender. Me being me, I declined and moved. This was
not fast enough.
Mrs. Williams found it to be disrespectful.
Yes.
And I think you would
It
have
was
also.
a crumb on
Yes.
his lip, Your Honor. I don't think he did not eat it.
Because it hit my face.
And you know exactly what your response was supposed to be?
What?
Because it would have been hers if she walked over. He's not hungry, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
And you wouldn't have been hungry for a long time either. Because I wouldn't have been cooking for you. If you don't know that it's not appropriate for miscellaneous women in the bar, the club, wherever, to be putting food close to your mouth.
Yes, and I avoided. I did my Matrix thing. I dove
No,
back,
you didn't do that.
Avoiding
No,
the
you
chicken. She
didn't.
kind of like grazed me.
No,
on
you
the
didn't
side
do
of my
all of
face.
that.
You know, but I avoided that situation. It's an Atlanta club. They were
No,
closed.
excuse me. I don't care if it's Atlanta, Sacramento, Miami. You all are building a brand here. And your brand is the family and that business.
Yeah.
And everybody who already knows y'all in this entertainment business know you all come as a package.
Yes.
So there's no reason for you to have to be out here conveying to any women that you're available. That might be the Atlanta style, but that's not the Williams in Atlanta style.
Thank you.
Yes.
Fair?
Yes, I would say fair, 100%. And we've grown from that situation. I attempt to not put myself in situations, but my
But
wife
you
can
don't
always
have those boundaries. Why
make
would
a situation
people think
out
that?
of things.
Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen because as I have looked at the facts in this case, I will not say these are petty problems, but these are not insurmountable problems. These are issues of communication and courtesy. I don't think that you all are courteous enough to each other as a married couple. And I'd like to offer you a marriage counselor to help you learn how to communicate effectively and not just communicate with each other, but to talk to each other about what your individual needs are in a relationship.
Yes.
Because there are too many stakes in the ground in this relationship
Yes.
for you all to be so cavalier and casual. Mr. Williams, it's imperative that you learn to avoid hot button issues and not put yourself in a situation where you're going to start an issue. I'm not going to tell you you can't have your opinions. I think actually having a divergent opinion is what makes America great.
I agree.
Okay? However, my marriage is my priority. And I get the feeling your marriage is your priority.
Yes.
Or at least it should be.
Yes.
And if your marriage is going to be your priority, then you need to avoid the topics that's going to cause problems in your marriage. That's just the truth.
Yes.
And I'd love to give you some tools to help you learn how to navigate that. Is that fair?
Yes, I would love the resources.
And Mrs. Williams, what I'm going to ask for you to do is to learn how to effectively communicate to your husband
Yes, ma'am.
what it is your needs are and where lines should not be crossed.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I'm going to need you to take on the burden that women have taken on from biblical times. And the word is, be the hedge of protection for your family.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what the word is.
Yes, ma'am.
Be the hedge of protection. And you know what that means?
Yes.
Don't put him in a situation where he has to defend his political beliefs.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't put him in that trick bag.
Yes, ma'am.
I
Fair
feel like
enough?
we should just rip the papers up, Your Honor, because I
Well-
don't want to get divorced.
Mrs. Williams, you asked me to look at these papers. I don't think you're ready for a divorce. I think you're ready for some conversation. Are you willing to take my conversation?
Yes. Your
You
Honor.
willing to take the marriage counseling?
Do anything for my marriage.
No, y'all not breaking up this family. Not today. Not today.
Keep us together.
Kiwi swap.
Kiwi.
I feel like we can work through this if we just keep focused and continue to communicate like the judge was saying.
I agree.
And I want our marriage to work.
Okay.
Okay, we got a family, we got our little babies,
Yeah.
and I don't want this to end.
I don't need that. I'm glad that you see it like that.
they're going to make it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a student, textbook case, in my opinion.
Absolutely. All he needs is a good teacher, and I'm very happy to fill in there.
Made in Georgia.